Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I certainly understand, the confidentiality issue, related to certain reports, or whistleblowers and all that. But when you have articles based on too many unnamed sources, anonymous, or something like that, it, it starts to become a little bit not very credible. But it's okay, I got us covered. I'm going to talk here about an article that came from Sputnik, from the bad people, stating that, according to some media outlets, CIA chief admitted that Kiev has been getting US intel throughout the course of this war. I don't think that surprises anybody that occurred. I think it might surprise some that this guy comes and says it like that, if that's accurate. The thing is, they have nothing to lose at this point. I think the genie is out of the bottle and they can't put it back. I mean, who really thinks that is Ukraine fighting Russia? Who really still believes that? Then I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. But and they don't know that it's those guy, which is that guy, with pushing these guys to fight over here, these guys. Then I don't know. Maybe you need to, I don't know, reincarnate about 50 more times until you reach a certain kind of point. So let's see. This article comes from Sputnik, and it is from today, February 26, 2023. CIA boss admits Kiev gets US intel throughout the course, end quote, of Russian special operation. I had no doubt, and they said it before. So you would say, oh my God, okay, let's see where the evidence is. And I'm very curious too, right? It was reported earlier that Kiev secretly received real-time, I'm quoting, real-time battlefield intelligence from the Biden administration that helped the Ukrainian military target high-ranking Russian officers. I mean, we know that one. I don't think that's disputable anymore. The US's Central Intelligence Agency has provided the Kiev regime with intelligence, quote-unquote, throughout the course of the ongoing Russian special military operation in Ukraine. CIA Director Bill Burns has admitted in an interview with a U.S. media outlet. They don't want to mention it. It's a certain kind of, how should I put it? They shouldn't, because they advertise someone else. I don't know exactly why they don't say, I don't know, CNN or whatever, weasel. The remarks follow local media reporting, local media like whom? Reporting that Burns held a secret meeting with President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, in Kiev in January, we know that one, to brief him on US intelligence that possibly forecasts Russia's next plans pertaining to its special operation. This was preceded by an independent investigative outlet, again, I don't know which one outlet is, claiming that a private US spy firm applies illegal technology to track over 1 billion people across the world, using a British intelligence cutout extensively linked to NATO's proxy war against Russia in Ukraine to funnel the data to the UK military. And since I said, well, there's too many unnamed sources here, I'm going to use this one to cover our butt. This is NBC News, so it must be true. And this article came for some time ago. I think it was May or something. April 26. All right, so that's from April 26, 2022. This is the title. US intel helped Ukraine protect air defenses, shoot down Russian plane carrying hundreds of troops. So this is the evidence reported by NBC News. Must be true. It's an accredited, mainstream, fantastic, CIA-linked boom, telling us this. So we're good. We're in the clear right now. So let's go back here. And I'm quoting, according to the outlet. Which one? The leaked documents indicate that surveillance technology used by the company in question, Anomaly 6, has, and I'm quoting again, enabled the planning of military offensives and artillery attacks, assassinations, asset recruitment, and other measures, end quote, via the aggressive harvesting of data. The report came after another U.S. newspaper cited unnamed, again, senior U.S. officials as saying that Washington gave Kiev intelligence about Russian units that has allowed Ukrainian forces to, and I'm quoting, target and kill the Russian generals who have died in action. I mean, that, I don't think that's disputed anymore. During Moscow's special operation in Ukraine, the Pentagon rejected the claims. Well, yes, but somehow after that, no more Russian generals died. I don't know how. When was the last one that was blown up? In July or something? And then nothing. I don't think the Russian generals became, how do you call them, invisible or something. The sources, which one? Argue that, and I'm quoting, the targeting help in part of a classified effort by Biden administration to provide real-time battlefield intelligence to Ukraine, end quote. The intelligence sharing in turn is part of a, and I'm quoting, a stepped-up flow in U.S. assistance that includes heavier weapons and tens of billions in aid, end quote, according to the insiders. Okay, now the thing is, I covered another article where we had, who was that who said that, what did they say? They said it was an Ukrainian military officer. He said that they don't do anything without the Americans go ahead. They can't use HIMARS. Allegedly, reportedly by this guy reported it, that the Americans are telling them what targets, give them the targets, coordinates, and tell them yes or no. Now, here you see this on May 6, 2022. Pentagon, U.S. does not provide intel on location of Russian military leaders. Okay, that's what they said. But sometimes, as I said, in June, July, I haven't heard anybody being killed over there as a general. Yeah, well, the Russians did not send the generals anymore. The U.S. and its allies boosted their military assistance to Kiev shortly after the beginning of the Russian military operation. Moscow has repeatedly warned that such assistance, which is currently worth over $100 billion, would add to further prolonging the Ukrainian conflict. We tend to take this $100 billion as just a number. Imagine that you get that, or your family gets that, or your town, or your, I don't know, your county, your state. Your country gets 100 billion mocha, nothing, just take it. So let's put it in perspective and see what, that's 100 billion, not million. A million would be a lot, but you have billion. Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, for his part, condemned what he described as NATO's quote-unquote proxy war with Russia, adding that this war is already almost real rather than a hybrid one. Moscow also accused NATO of direct involvement in the Ukrainian conflict, something the alliance denies. Yeah, because they don't want to be kicked back. They want to be able to kick, but you can't. I'm not involved. But you push the guys. Imagine like this. Imagine this little example or analogy. You and your neighbor, and you're shooting at a neighbor. He's shooting at you, and all of a sudden he's able to just shoot one by one, all your guys, sniper, pam, pam, pam. What the hell happened all of a sudden? And when you look around and say, oh my God, where did you get that one? Well, there's a guy behind your neighbor who's just telling you, say, okay, see, you're going to hit right there. Put this scope like that, all right? Now hold it, very good. Here it is, put this over there, or whatever they put, I don't know, magazines, pop, put it in, all right, now go, right now, go, boom. Oh, it was not me, it was this guy. All right, so I'm going to say, okay, it was that guy who just killed one of my family members. You didn't help at all. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Really? I mean, that guy gave this guy the weapon, let's say the HIMARS, gives him the coordinates, shows him where, right? Gives him the coordinates, arrange the whole thing. It's just the little boy here just, says, okay, now push that trigger. Boom. Oh, I didn't do anything. He pushed the trigger. He had the HIMARS. He picked the target. I was just, around. Would you buy that? I mean, if you buy that, maybe you're gonna have, and I hope not, something like this with your neighbor and see how would you like it. You will like it, because a lot of people don't get the point until that happens to them. Like, for instance, remember when the Americans blew up a wedding in Afghanistan, and I don't know how many people, tens of people were killed and injured and so on. And you had the politicians here in America saying that was just a collateral damage. Let's move on. Let's move on. And I don't know how many died, 50 or something. I can't remember exactly, 20, 30. Regardless, they died. Now, these politicians here looked at it, collateral damage, let's move on, it happens, nothing to see here. But I think that the reaction of that politician or politicians would have been totally different if that would be their daughter's wedding, for instance. I guarantee you that if someone would have done that accidentally, collateral damage, with their daughter's wedding, which I don't wish, I'm pretty sure the guys would not be like, well, it was just a collateral damage, my family is blown up, my daughter and all that. It's okay, nothing to see, let's move on. I guarantee you these guys will want to cry and please attack, bomb, use nuclear weapons, eradicate everybody, do another, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. I don't give a damn about that country. I guarantee you the tune will be hysterical. But because you're not involved, it's okay, we feel sorry about it, so let's move on now. The same here. We kind of, look at certain things very lightly when it's just they're not helping, but with that little help, other people die. But hey, until we're in the same situation, having someone doing that to us, some people are incapable of grasping the situation. That means at least putting yourself in the other person's shoes. I mean, this is a basic, I don't know, you learn this for 4, 5, 6 years old. That's when you kind of understand, if you didn't, then you're at that level, or you're just a freaking whatever. You know what I mean? You otherwise, anyway. Or you can use the Bible. If you don't cope with that, you just go with the Bible. Don't do unto others what you don't want to be done unto you, or something like that. Well, I think 99% these guys are helping. They are involved. That's direct involvement. If you give my enemy a bullet to kill one of my family members or my soldiers, you are involved. Because without that bullet, that would not have happened. So that is your direct involvement in killing of this. However you want me to call that. I mean, if he would not have the bullet, this person would be alive. And that's on my side. And that's their side, and you supposedly are outside. So take it however you want. Again, reverse the whole scenario and see if you would be at the receiving end. One of your family members would be shot in that kind of scenario by someone who's going to just provide them the right weapon and the scope to, figure it out. Or maybe, I don't know, some night vision scope. No, it's okay. It's so easy, but people is like, wake up. But you can't wake up something that is already dead. You know what I mean? You can, too late. This is brain dead. What can you do? Not this, mine, but anyway, maybe part of it is. We use not even 15% out of it. The rest is like, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.